Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Liberty Twitter Bracket Challenge recap of the Elite Eight. That's what it's called. The Elite Eight was today. It was a great 12 hours. Some stuff happened before the 12-hour mark, but we'll talk about all that. But first, to get started, have to say a special shout out to the GOATs who have been keeping this thing running smoothly, running with integrity. And that is our fraud detection unit, shouted out by our man Chad Hassan today, the real MVP of the Liberty Twitter Bracket Challenge. Now, some were saying, is this a callback to Farley Dickinson? Did Richie Longshots sneak in, hack Chad's account, get an FDU reference in there? The jury's still out. Internal investigation is still underway. The other thing that happened today that was not related to the bracket challenge was this very wholesome interaction with some of our more seasoned veterans of Liberty Twitter. Think of the year Kennedy was assassinated. That just made me laugh because, some you read about in history books. But I love Bill's thing at the end here, the golden circuit. I just thought this was a very wholesome interaction between our seasoned veterans here in the LTBC. Loved seeing it. It was a great time. But you know what you're here for. You're here for results. You're here to hear about the exciting things that happened today. So let's jump right into it. Starting off, the DeMoss Hall region, KC versus Turtle Power. Now, Turtle started off strong. He said it's important to know who's actually involved with the voting. My man made a chart with percentages. I mean, listen, when I told you yesterday that this man was a competitor, I meant it. This man's a competitor. He's here to win. He took it easy on y'all in the first couple rounds because he was in surgery and he knew that he didn't have to work that hard. But now that he's here, the Elite Eight, he's really showing up. He followed this chart up. KC followed this chart up with a tweet about him and his pops, 10 of your closest LU fan friends cheering on the Flames during the Karcher era. I mean, that's a throwback. We've got history versus activity going on right now. Of course, Turtle Power bumps up the ante, releases a video, talks about how he respects KC's history, how he respects how KC is a staple of the Liberty community, but he gives some great points as to why you should vote for him instead. Of course, KC responds with a video of his own, and he says, you know what? Turtle's a great guy, but I got the longevity. He's a nice guy. He's like, I don't have anything fancy up my sleeve, nothing crazy going on today. So it's just, it started off strong. And then in the end, they cooled down. KC, it turned very wholesome. It turned very wholesome in the end. He said, this is a Twitter contest. Seems like you're definitely spend more time on here than I do. Either way, go Flames. But he did finish it off with, oh yeah, I am better looking. That's all I got. Very funny. They ended up bonding over turtles. And in the end, my man Turtle Power posted this picture, him and a wood turtle of several years ago. Not just a name, folks. If you're going to talk about it, be about it. And my man Turtle Power, he's about it. Now moving on to the Green Hall region. Now this one started off interesting because it started off with Fan the Flames football podcast coming in hot against Jerry. Saying that he didn't have any loyalty to LU, that he was too busy fraternizing with the other fan bases. Fired off a sequence of tweets. Kept going. Jeremiah cares more about becoming friends with the opposing fan bases. I've seen him with my own two eyes. I mean, he was coming out hot. He came out so hot that Jerry's own opponent was stunned. Liberty Mountain Views, stunned by this. Said Ben woke up this morning and decided we needed a Brutus to save us from Caesar. I mean, that's funny. That's a quality tweet. But it's true. He came out hot. Fan the Flames came out hot against Jerry. And unfortunately, Jerry was in the middle of having an existential crisis on Twitter during this time. I don't really know what's going on. Check in with your friends. You never really know what they're thinking or what they're going through. We're out here having a Liberty Twitter bracket challenge, and Jerry he's thinking about his life, having a midlife crisis at 29. To each his own. We all go through this journey at a different pace. But in the end, this tweet is what woke him up. Jeremiah's never contributed a single gift to this community. And Jeremiah responds with the Richie Longshots pointing gif. We all know it. We all love it. Of course, not to be outdone, Fan the Flames Football Podcast responds. Says no one would know that's Malik Willis. Can't even tell. Which led us to the first ever tournament appearance of touchdown long shots this year. It was a great time to pull it out. It was very fitting. And in the end, old habits die hard. And Jerry finished off the evening being excited he was getting endorsed by people who were not directly affiliated with Liberty Twitter. But you know what? That's okay. Sometimes when you're a competitor like this, votes are votes. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about the South Tower region. There were some interesting things that happened today in the South Tower region. It's all started late last night, when Caleb shot off a video driving home from, I'm assuming, work. I really don't know. And he promised a Sparky leg tattoo upon victory of the LTBC. Today, he clarified, this is what we're talking about, a fighting Sparky thigh tattoo if he wins. I mean, that's a strong... Listen, the voters absolutely love people putting their bodies on the line. My man Caleb is willing to go the distance. He's putting his body on the line. And, this is just entertainment. Now, Flames advocate shot back, not willing to put his body on the line. I understand. No disrespect at all. He says, but he will do an official face reveal, which, if you're one of those people who are anti-burners, this may really speak to you. It was a shot. It was a chance to get the voters. Then, out of nowhere, Fan the Flames Football Podcast, once again, not involved in either of these brackets anymore, but came out with a couple swings at Caleb. I think at this point, it feels like there's a little pent-up aggression maybe towards Jerry and Caleb. They just need to get off his chest, and I respect it. Now's the time to do it. It's like that, what's that country that has the big fist fight around Christmas time where everybody gets all their foolishness out and their anger with each other, and then they all hug at the end and go have a beer or something. That's exactly what I feel like's happening right now. But anyway, back to the actual people who are competing in the bracket. Flames advocate said, hey, you know what? Once my wife gets up and texts her coworkers, it's over. I hope. So, I'm not a whole bunch of confidence coming out of the Flames advocate camp, but you know what? He's out here competing. He's doing his best. We love to see it. Caleb then busts out the pitties, pops them on. With the pitties comes a very heavy Southern accent, posts a video talking about the stuff that he has, the 12th man flag, all these jerseys. He offers to give away a jersey. It's been a while since I watched the video. That's on me. I believe it was a jersey if he becomes the ultimate eventual winner. But his heavy Southern accent was noticed by a couple of accounts, which led to some humorous tweets. If you guys haven't seen the video that Richie Longshots posted, it is very funny. It's comical. It's comical. You got to go check it out. Now, there is something I need to say about this matchup. There was a slight scandal, small scandal, but our fraud detection team was on top of it. They saw it. They got it immediately, took action, and everything's taken care of. It was all seen. We're all good. Now, listen, if you're out here buying votes, trying to discredit other people, or I don't even know, at this point, just being an agent of chaos, look, it's not doing anything. All right, you don't need to be buying votes. The fraud detection team is on 10 this year. I'm not a part of it. They are paying very close attention. They got the eyes on you, like Big Brother. Anyway, last but not least, the East Campus region. I'm going to finish things off on a high note. This is a very, very wholesome interaction. Of course. I mean, it's Kathy, it's Cody. It's going to be wholesome. But Miss Kathy started off the morning with, one of the greatest videos I've ever seen on Twitter. It was beautiful. It was a great thing. She said, rise and shine, give God the glory. Come on, Miss Kathy. Her energy is great. It's contagious, infectious even. I love it. I love it. Then she said, my opponent's known for his bucket hats, but I sport some pretty cool hats myself. A girl needs to accessorize. I need that belt. That's a good tweet. It puts some pictures up of some hats that are signed. her wearing some wild hats. I mean, listen, Miss Kathy is a competitor. She's a competitor. I'm telling you, she's coming. She's coming. Now, Cody finally responds. Now, he hasn't been active on Twitter all day. Finally responds. Hits us all with the Jesus juke. Every single one of us. Broken ankles spiritually. He said, I've been MIA not because I don't value my LTBC fan, but because I'm doing one of the few things I value more, praying for us. We've been seeing more than 40 students come to Christ this weekend so far. Please vote for me or Kathy because I really like her too. I mean, dropping the flex that he's doing a discipleship weekend with some students. I mean, that's how you get the emotional side of the voters. That's where they come in. That was a good move, but not to be outdone. Miss Kathy, by the way, for the record, underneath this tweet, she thanks him for what he's doing. She says that 40 Salvations is awesome. She hypes him up. I mean, again, really wholesome interaction between these two accounts. A great matchup. The automatic computer really did its thing. But Miss Kathy, not to be outdone, at 8:50, this was at 8? No, what 8:50? It was like 8:15, I want to say. She posts this tweet in 2009 when our son started at the marching band. We started tailgating. Nobody was doing it. We got it started, fed the tuba line, welcomed many new fans, paving the way for Cody and his delicious cheerwine chili and famous tailgate. Listen, Miss Kathy, with less than an hour left, said, look at me, son. You stand on the shoulders of my achievement. And I mean, that's a woo. I mean, Miss Kathy came from the top rope. I mean, that's a good tweet. She waited a little late to say it. She did wait a little late to say it, but man, what a tweet. Ooh, that was good. I just want to make sure everybody appreciated that because that got me hyped. I was like, man, come on, Miss Kathy. She's out here. She's supportive. But when it comes to it, she gonna throw hands. She gonna lay it down. Now, this is what y'all came for. We have the results. First and foremost, in the DeMoss Hall region, at a margin of 68% to 32%, we have Turtle Power moving into the Final Four. He is our first one. As we keep it going, the Green Hall region, Liberty Mountain Views versus Jeremiah Flincham. This one was 77% to 23%. We, of course, have Jerry moving forward into the Final Four. We have the South Tower region. We got Caleb and Flames Advocate. Now, after the votes, I don't have a percentage for this, but after we've done the math, it was 131 votes to 103 votes. And that's Caleb Wynn, ladies and gentlemen. He's moving on into the Final Four. And last, but certainly not least, the matchup we hated to see end. Miss Kathy, Mr. Cody, with a score of 63% to 37%. Miss Kathy is moving on. She is moving on into the Final Four. So it is going to be a great time. It's going to be an exciting time. We're taking tomorrow off. Take a Sabbath, rest, calm those Twitter fingers down. We'll be back hot, ready to go, firing out the gates. 9 a.m. Monday morning, Final Four matchup. It's going to be exciting. I mean, I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight. But here we are, the LTBC. We're going to keep it going. You guys stay safe. Have a good day tomorrow.